Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the Fimi X8 SE 2020 version out again. Today I am at Lucky Peak Reservoir, and there was a camera firmware update for this guy a few days ago. It's firmware number 1026A, and I've got high hopes that it might help some of the camera issues that I've seen in the past with colors and white balance, etc. So we're going to put this guy up in the air. We're going to take it out over the reservoir, take it out there a ways, and just see how it does. There's a little bit of wind out here today, but that is not a problem. That is a strong point of this drone. It can handle the wind without any issue. So we'll also take a look at the horizon, and hopefully we have a nice flat horizon today. So let's put this guy up in the air and let's just see how she looks. It's a beautiful day to fly today. Nice blue sky day. Like I said, a little bit of wind, but other than that, we're good. You're going to see the reservoir. They're really dropping the level of the reservoir here, dropping it down as we get into winter. What they do is they empty the reservoir and so that they can fill it up with spring runoff next spring. So in any case, let's quit messing around. Let's get this guy in the air. Okay, so I've got everything on. We're connecting to the device. Says gimbal not ready. Yeah, it's looking for satellites. Just turn it on, so it'll take it a couple minutes to find satellites here. While we're doing that, I am going to go into the camera menu here, and we are going to change video quality to high. I don't know why it always defaults to medium, but we're going to leave white balance on auto, metering mode on center. People have told me that they have better luck with the H.264 codec, so I'm going to leave it in that. Now, video mode, let's go ahead and let's put it on HDR today. Why not? Let's try out the new camera firmware, and that'd be a good way to try it. So we're ready to go GPS. Let's take a look in the menu here and see if I see anything there that needs our attention. Looks good. And then if we click at the very top there, it gives us a drone status report. So it's telling us it doesn't need any kind of calibration, which is refreshing. I just flew the JJRC-X12, and boy, you talk about a calibration nightmare. That's that guy. But this one is good to go. So back into VPU. Now it says GPS. So what I found with this drone is once you get it in the air, it tends to find more satellites, and it's fine. So let's go ahead and start recording. Recording is started, and I'm going to take off. I'm going to hit the takeoff button on the app, and it'll go up about 4 meters high, and it'll take a look at its takeoff point, and it's blowing it back towards us. We got some wind here, so it's going to be kind of noisy here for a second, but I'm going to let the drone sit there for a second and take a look, and you can see that it's already found 15 satellites. So let's I'm going to spin it around and back it up just a little and drop it down so we can take a look at it with the camera. Can't move it around too much because I'm right next to my Durango, but we can rock it back and forth a little bit. We always do that just for the fun of it. Okay, so let's do a manual droney. Looks like we got 15 satellites. I see no reason why we shouldn't. So reverse and up now. And boy, oh boy, is it fun flying a powerful, fast drone like this. This guy is amazing, and the picture looks good. I can't really tell much on the horizon just yet, but yeah, I want you guys to take a look at that. That is really something, isn't it? Okay, let's go ahead. I stopped going backwards, and I'm just raising in altitude now. Let's get some altitude here. And we're out there over 375 meters. So we'll do a quick circle around kind of the main part of the reservoir here by the dam. We're not going to go anywhere near the dam because that's a no-fly zone, of course, but we're going to go a little bit this direction towards the marina, or the boat ramp, I guess is a better way to describe it. And then we'll turn around and we'll go back the other way. Horizon looks pretty good, near as I can tell. And I can tell you the picture looks really good on the screen too. The FPV looks awesome. Okay, let's spin it around here, and we're going to go the other way. I'm going to drop the gimbal down so you guys can see what's going on here. I'm sorry, I should have had the gimbal further down. We have been up that gulch before. That is Turner Gulch right there. We've flown up that a few times. We've flown from that area before. But boy, you can really see, you know, you heard me talking about how far they dropped the level of the reservoir down, and boy, you can see that here. Okay, let's pick the camera up, and I'm going to throw it into sport mode, and we're going to go full stick forward here. Let's go into the menu, sport mode on, and yeah, that's good. And let's hit the. There's a boat there. Maybe we can catch that guy, huh? See how fast it'll go. I was kind of behind. You saw it lose some connection there. That's because I was standing behind my car. So I literally had my car between me and the drone. So that's why we got that. But we're moving right along. I'm picking up the camera here just a tad. We're going to shoot right down the center of the reservoir. And we're almost a kilometer. Got a good signal. The FPV signal you can see is a little bit in the orange there. We're pointed directly at the drone. See another boat coming back our way here. We'll take it out there a ways. So we're out almost a kilometer and a half, and we got a good signal. The only that was me yawing there, and boy, I overdid it. In sport mode, it's kind of tough. I was trying to just ease it down the center. There we go. And even though we're getting a little bit of yeah, now that FPV went red just a little bit. I'm trying to gain some altitude. Yeah, and it came back. Let's go ahead and take it on up. So we're out there 2 kilometers. So I think what I can safely say, I'm not going to go much further than this. We'll go about 2.5 kilometers, and then we'll turn around. But what I'm going to say is the issues that I had previously, I am going to put them down to I was in a Wi-Fi interference zone. I was in an urban area where there was a lot of Wi-Fi the other day. Okay, that's 2.5 kilometers, so I'm saying that proves whatever point we were going to make. And we're going to slowly turn it around here, or try at least. There, it's kind of hard because I kind of lost. I got a little bit of stuttering there on FPV. Whoops. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring it back. And I don't think it went into return. Yeah, it does say return to home. But that's all right. I think we can still control it here. Changing flight route. Yeah, so we very briefly lost signal there when I was yawing around. So I am going to take it out of return to home if I can. See, and you can see it changing. So I'm going to put it in return to home and then take it out. Yeah, in-flight GPS. So I could have done that on the screen too, but let's just fly it back here, because I think we can go faster, and we can. Look at that. And we're low enough on battery here, I don't want to mess around. We're already at 56% battery. Well, we got a good connection. I'm kind of surprised at how fast that battery went down. But we're making good time on the way back. Yeah, we're a kilometer out and we're doing 18 meters per second. We're going to be back here in no time, so it doesn't look like battery's going to be an issue. Let's drop the gimbal just a tad. So we've actually only been in recording for 10 minutes here, so of course we've been in full power the whole time, so. And there we are. So I'm going to drop the gimbal as we go over the top of us. I'm going to fly right over the top of us. Let me adjust the heading just a little. Whoop, too much. It is so touchy in sport mode. And there you can see me standing down there by the old red Durango and right over the top of us. And we still got 46% battery, so I was worried for nothing. Okay, we don't want to go anywhere near that power plant, so we are turning around. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if we can bring this guy towards us, and we got time to maybe do an orbit around us, which is always fun with let's drop some altitude as we come back. But what's always fun about this drone is you can do a pretty good orbit with it. Sorry about that there. I was kind of focused on what I was doing and didn't want to lose track of the drone. So there we are. Yeah, I need to take it out of sport mode. Man, oh man, is it fast in sport mode, guys. I'm looking at the drone up there. It's really moving around. Okay, we're going to go in. We're going to take it out of sport mode. Out of sport mode there. That'll make it handle a little better. Let's bring it right over the, we're going to bring it right over the top of us, or roughly. Let's get a little more altitude, and then we're going to click on that. It looks like a little Android at the bottom, and we're going to go into orbit, and we're going to click OK, setting center, and then we're going to back up to set our radius, and we're going to set a big radius. That's good enough. And setting radius, and we're going to tell it to look at the center, and let's speed this baby right up, and we're going to click go, and it'll take it a second to take the command, and then off it goes. There's a gull up there that's flying around it, wondering what that big bird up there is doing. And I'm looking almost directly into the sun now to keep the controller pointed at the drone. That's a pretty good look though. And we're down to about 35% battery. I can't remember when it goes into return to home. It's pretty quick. It's like 28% or something. It starts telling you that it's got low battery. So there you get a look at the reservoir, and there you can really look at how much the reservoir has dropped. And we'll come out here in December and January, and you'll see this reservoir practically empty. This is just a fun spot to fly. I've talked about this before. In order to fly here, you have to get a permit with the Army Corps of Engineers, but they're really nice people and they're really cool about it. They've told me, they said, you know what, you don't even have to ask us to fly here. Just send us an email notification telling us when you're going to fly, so that if somebody sees you, we know that, you know, you're legit. And the permit doesn't cost you anything. You just have to fill out some paperwork with your FAA number on it, and it's an annual permit. They send it to you once a year. Drone is almost back in its original position. We'll stop right there, and let's initiate a return to home, and let's see if we can get a precision landing. So I flipped it into return to home on the controller here. You just slide that over, and here comes the drone. I got to tell you, you know, I flew a couple of other budget drones earlier today, and it is really fun flying a more powerful drone that actually does what it's commanded to do, etc. This thing's just a joy to fly. And one thing I'll say about Fimi is their flight controls are very good. And then I've extolled the virtues of this controller before, but I really like the layout on this controller. It's telling me landing pad not detected, but it always says that until it gets to a certain height, and it's liable to find it here. Where it's at now, it looks like it's going to land right on the Armco barrier, but maybe not. It's zeroing in. We'll stop it if it looks like it's going to get too low there, but yeah, we're okay. It's not. Yeah, landing pad detected, so we're liable to find it here. This is going to look good, I think. Guys, I think we got this made. Yeah, look at that. And I forgot you got to pick up the camera on this guy. Okay, so as you can see there, we're on the pad. 2 legs on and 2 legs off, so I'm going to call that a win. That's pretty close. So the other thing that I like about this drone is it does automatically shut off recording when you're done there. That wasn't a particularly long flight, although I'll say we were in full throttle mode most of the time, so that burns up a lot of battery. Also, this is the same battery I used to do the firmware updates, so we used it up a little bit. I didn't happen to notice where we were at the start. We'll look at that later, but in any case, I felt really good about this flight today. We had no connection issues. The only issue that we had is I had it the other side of me, and I had my car between the controller and the drone. That was my fault, but we didn't lose connection. It just went into the red. Now we did lose connection at the other way, the other direction. I'm going to say this: we were out 2.5 kilometers, and there's also a peninsula that goes into the water here, that goes into the reservoir between us and where the drone was. So I'm gonna call that good. And by the way, we didn't lose connection until I began yawing the drone around, turning it around, and I changed the direction of the antennas. So, and of course it immediately reconnected as soon as it came back a little ways. So all good there. I'm gonna say no connection issues today at all. 2.5 kilometers is as far as I need to go with a drone. All right, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a conclusion. Hey, okay guys, the Fimi X8 SE 2020, I think we had a good flight today. Because of the terrain that we're in here, I couldn't really tell if we had a tilted horizon or not. It looked good, but I'll wait to look at the video off the SD card to tell that for sure. But obviously the terrain here is all at angles and stuff, so probably hard to tell. That said, gosh, good flight. FPV was good, looked really good on FPV. The colors and everything looked fine. Again, I'll want to look at what's on the SD card before I pronounce that good, but it looked good from what I could see on my mobile device. And then range, you know, we flew it out 2.5 kilometers out into the reservoir there. And by the way, we were blocked by terrain here, so that's really good. And I stopped before it went out of range, right? And only when I turned it around and changed the position of the antennas did we very briefly, just for a second, we lost connection there, and it put it into return to home mode. And I let it come back for a little ways and return to home, steering it. Then I thought, hey, we want to do this in sport mode. I was a little bit concerned because we were down to about 60% battery or so. I wanted to get it back. Was out there a ways, so went ahead and took it out of return to home in sport mode. Gave it full throttle all the way back. We got back here in plenty of battery, 40% or whatever it was, 47%, something like that. So I'm going to say we must have been fighting the wind on the way out and had the wind with us on the way back, because it definitely used less juice on the way back. Then we did an orbit around the Lucky Peak viewpoint here, which is always kind of fun to do, and this drone does a really good job of that. And then brought it in for a precision landing. It hit the pad. It had 2 legs off the pad, but I'm going to still call that a win. I mean, it traveled a long ways, and to get that close to the pad, I'm going to call it a win. I just felt the temperature of the drone. This is a fairly warm day. We're probably in the high 70s, maybe even low 80s, although we do have a breeze, but it's not, I mean, it's warm, but it's not hot to the touch at all. So Fimi's done a good job with the cooling on this guy. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to call today's flight a win. I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And we absolutely will see you on the next one. Bye now.